In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto. Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Hope everybody is doing well this evening. Let's kick it off with Miguelito. ¿Cómo estás?
Okay, tiburón.
Oh, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's another day grinding away.
Grinding, and the Bitcoin price is grinding down. We'll get into that. But if you guys are not grinding in the Discord, we need to fix that problem. Definitely jump into the Discord, get involved with Danger Close Alpha. We're doing some big things. We've got a giveaway going on right now. If you like free stuff, then the Discord is the place to be. We are giving away an Anxious Bulldog, courtesy of Miss Shambles. And we appreciate that. So Discord, one, Twitter, gotta be following us on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, Danger Close Alpha, and then also DebateCrypto OG. So make sure you guys are there. And other than that, obviously, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate all of you. What's on the podium this evening, sir?
We got Canada trying to rug pull its citizens by saying that crypto is not the way to fight inflation. We've got the one, the only, the Moonbirds controversial exit of one of its COOs. And to wrap it up, we've got the last one that I cannot remember for the life of me right now.
Well, hey, we'll leave the last one as a mystery. Actually, I believe I will start it off with the last one after we take a little peek at the markets. And the mysterious one has to do with centralization and decentralization. But without further ado, let's check out the market. Today's cryptocurrency prices are, the global market is at $1.77 trillion, trillion with a T, down 5.51%. Wow. Bitcoin down about 5% at 38. Let me update this. That might not even be, it might be lower than that. Yeah, we're at just over 38 right now. ETH all the way down below 2,800 at 27.97. Hurt my heart. BNB down below that $400 mark I always talk about. Solana down below that $100 mark. See, Miguel, one of the things that I see always when these big psychological numbers get broken, like 40K gets broken, all of a sudden these other, ETH 3K broken, BNB 400 broken, Solana 100 broken. They're all just busting down through. Everything else gets hammered when Bitcoin is down. Cardano's down to 82 cents. The only thing on here that's doing just about anything right now is stable coins. So that is that. Miguel, do you have any TA for us, or we just need to know, hey, the market's down?
Hey, not really. We're printing a massive red candle on the daily right now as we speak.
Okay.
But outside of that, we're just, I'll show you. Just nothing crazy here, but just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So obviously we got rejected here from the 20 EMA line. We touched it, boom, and now got rejected. Massive red candle on the way down for this daily. We got the RSI also went up to, about 50, got rejected with this rejection up here in the 20, and we're headed down. All the EMAs are below the 200, which is something we do not want to see. So we are in bearish territory. We're in a bearish trend right now. We got to get all these EMA lines to flip over the green line, and everything is just headed down right now. Let's jump down to the 4 hour, see what that looks like. Yeah, 4 hour RSI super oversold. Stochastic, pretty much the same thing. Just not looking good right now at all for Bitcoin. And obviously, if Bitcoin has this massive move to the downside, we're gonna be seeing it in the alts. The alts are definitely gonna be feeling it.
Yeah,
and it's just same more of this sideways movement. Look at this, just sideways. We're up to 43, we're back down. We're up, we're down. We're up, we're down. We haven't really done anything until back here where we were, back here in November, dude. Since November, we just been on the way down. Little bump up, right back down. Little bump up, right back down. Just been sideways consolidation. So nothing new to look at right now.
I'm wondering if we are indeed in a bear market, as we've heard people talk about. If we are indeed in a bear market, my question is, are we going to see as massive of a move as we've seen in the past. I'm curious about that because we didn't see, 69K, huge move, right? No doubt about that, but not the blow off top like we've seen before. And some would argue, and I would be one of them, would be that as these numbers get bigger and bigger, the push to get these blow off tops in the way that we've seen them in the past, I think are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller because, theoretically, there's only so much money to inject and pump into the market at once. So I would argue that if we see a huge move to the downside, I see huge opportunities. I do see us going back below 30. I'm not the 10K guy. If we get there, I mean, it's load up the truck. Obviously, it's the scariest point, but it is. I don't know.
I would disagree with what you're saying. By the way, shout out to Mind Your Biz. I see him in the chat. What's up, brother?
What up, Sif?
The thing with me and the reason why we're not seeing the massive moves like we've done before, it's not because of the lack of money, or should I say, it takes too much money to make these big moves happen, and there's not enough money to be injected. I think the problem is that the longer the crypto space has been existing, now we're seeing more branches being created off the tree trunk of the top tier projects, right? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum. We got NFTs, we got DeFi,
lots of distractions.
We got all these different things being built and money heading into those branches, which takes away from the tree trunk like Bitcoin. And so it makes Bitcoin grow slower than, if all the money like in 2017 was focused on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just top tier projects. It was just bam, bam, bam. Just all the attention was there. There was no attention to the NFT space. There was no NFT space, right? The CryptoPunks were not even spoken of. Nothing was distracting people from projects, just putting your money into a project. We've got all kinds of things going on now, all kinds of crazy DeFi projects promising crazy APYs, all kinds of NFT projects coming out every single day, and just more and more things being built, metaverse stuff, and all, tomatoes and potatoes.
Lots of distractions, as I've heard you call it before. Well, let's talk about that. We talk about Bitcoin being the only truly decentralized asset. Let's talk about what centralization versus decentralization kind of looks like. And stick around, guys. The Moonbirds information is going to be the Moonbirds article is going to be
at the end.
So stick around for that. Smash the likes. Let's have some fun tonight, guys. Let's get it.
All right, let's get it.
So this says the future of crypto payments will be centralized. Let's talk about it. Initially conceived as peer-to-peer electronic cash, cryptocurrencies have ideal features for retail payments. These permissionless networks enable independent verification of assets and unparalleled settlement assurance. Since validating transactions is the primary cost in generating $1.9 trillion of revenue within the global payments market, blockchains will inevitably become mainstream technologies. But how this incredible utility manifests in the real world, i.e. buying clothes and groceries, will likely echo the adoption of the internet itself, and this means many centralized components. The crypto decentralization meme. There are varying degrees of centralization in all cryptocurrency protocols themselves. In general, tribal arguments center around various interpretations of the Nakamoto coefficient, token distributions, and external centralized dependencies. For instance, hardware, software requirements often severely limit average users from participating in the network consensus, resulting in centralized mining. Let me skip down a little bit further here. Considering crypto assets owned by hedge funds, venture capital, corporates, governments, and traders, it's not surprising that more than half of all Bitcoin is estimated to be maintained by virtual asset service providers. Even custodial services hold at least 61% of staked Ether for the upcoming ETH 2.0 merge. So let's talk about this, Miguel. Essentially what this article, if we wrap it all up, is saying that crypto puts together the perfect storm for the payments system, the payments provider, which adds that centralized layer to it. But when cryptocurrency was originally put out there by Satoshi Nakamoto, i.e. Bitcoin, it was this peer-to-peer decentralized payment system between people. So are we causing, my first question would be, are we causing an issue by, we bring it to the mainstream? Now the mainstream sees the best opportunity is per payments, and now all of a sudden decentralization goes to centralization. Are we causing issues?
100%.
Okay.
and I've kind of said it before, I've kind of alluded to this, is the problem is when Bitcoin was first created, right? Cryptocurrencies, whatever, it was made for peer-to-peer. Bitcoin,
Right.
as it gained adoption, started to move away from that peer-to-peer and became the digital gold. I'm just going to hold it, right? Things have shifted. When mainstream adoption institutions get involved with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to make Bitcoin, or I should say cryptocurrencies, like Kevin Leary says, the 12th sector of the of the stock market or whatever it is, the reason why that causes centralization is because there is more money to be made if something is centralized. When all these entities get their hands in it, right, they're thinking, how can I make money? How can I make money? We all know that we live in the digital age where information, aka data, is more valuable than anything. So data mining, that's how Twitter, that's how Facebook, that's how all YouTube, Google, that's how all these companies pay the bills and much more. It's mining data off of the users. So when it comes to this mainstream adoption, yes, they will become more and more centralized because the more control you have, the more money you make. There is no true incentive for people to keep things decentralized unless you're completely just an idealist and just like pure crypto, like let's keep it as it was. It's not about the money, it's about the technology.
Right.
We've seen more and more every day. People come into crypto. It's just about the money.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the technology. Nobody cares what HBAR and all these other crypto companies are doing in the background that you should be caring about, right? But they just say, "Hey, HBAR to the moon, baby! I'm gonna buy me some HBAR." And I'm just using HBAR as an example, but there's many others out there. The same exact method. It's just about making money, and people let that greed push us towards centralization. It's just the natural cost of making money.
Yeah, the thing is, though, we're not going to stop that. There's not enough idealism in the crypto space to stop the move towards centralization. The facts are, as much as everybody hates to admit it, decentralization really is kind of a meme because of exactly what you just said. There's this great idea. It's kind of like with the DAOs. I'll tell you, this is where I think we're going to see problems with the DAOs in the future. There's some beautiful things that can happen with DAOs, but let me tell you where the problem with DAOs is exactly with what you just said. Somebody within that DAO, it's kind of like just natural life, right? If you put a bunch of wolves together, there's going to be a leader of the pack, okay? And so with DAOs, with a decentralized economy, somebody is going to take the lead, or at least there's going to be this struggle to take the lead. And so I see moving forward, the ideas behind and the movement is beautiful, and it could do just absolute fantastic things. I think the issue is in the fact that someone's going to want power, someone's going to want to make money, and that's where we're just going to kind of butt heads.
And the problem is not somebody leading, because it's okay for a small group of people or a person to lead. It's just it has to be the right group of people, the right person, the person that will not
and leading for the right
power.
reasons.
Yeah, they're not going to abuse the power. They're not there to make themselves wealthy and make themselves, more and more and more money without thinking about the rest of the people. It's about the great person that needs to be thinking about the greater good, the greater cause of the people, and making sure it's in the best interest of all the people, not the best interest of themselves. But that is completely almost impossible with money, because money is the root cause of all corruption. People will always get corrupt when it comes
to greed. Greed as a result of the money, for sure. Let's talk about greed as the result of printing money. Okay, let's talk about a little country up north, our friends, our neighbors. Let's talk about Canada. Let me pull this article up right quick. Here we go. Crypto is no way to, quote, opt out of inflation, says the Bank of Canada. Canada's central bank doesn't see cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin replacing the Canadian dollar anytime soon. Top officials from Bank of Canada rebuked claims that Bitcoin, or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, could substitute the Canadian dollar in the face of the country's rising inflation, according to Global News Report. During testimony before the Finance Committee of the House of Commons on Monday, Liberal MP Yvonne Baker asked the bank's governor, Tiff Macklem and Senior Deputy Governor Carolyn Rogers whether the use of crypto could represent an effective strategy against inflation, which, okay, good question. I think if Canadians are looking for a stable source of payment and a stable source of value, cryptocurrencies don't really meet that test, Rogers responded. We don't see cryptocurrencies as a way for Canadians to opt out of inflation or a stable source of value. Canada's inflation rate soared to a 31-year high of 6.7%, bullcrap, in March, with Statistics Canada reporting that all 8 categories of the country's economy it tracks, from food and energy to shelter costs and transportation, were on the rise. We go down a little further and it says, Pierre Poilievre, I totally butchered that, also posted a video of himself buying a shawarma using Bitcoin's Lightning Network at a London, Ontario-based restaurant, stressing the importance of new technologies and supporting our local businesses. Here's the deal, though, right? Despite the promising benefits from our innovation in the financial sector, Macklem stated, we certainly expect the Canadian dollar will remain the center of the Canadian financial system. All right, before you dive all over this, Miguel, these articles are the propaganda that gets put out there at this point. It's out of this world sometimes. It's like, hey, let's talk about the central point of our, financial structure, which is the dollar at this point, the Canadian dollar, that we can print, that is being printed, that we have control of, that is fiat currency, not backed by anything. And how dare you suggest that something else could be a hedge against the problems that we have with it? Thoughts?
Yeah. Let's not talk about how, it's so not going to fight inflation, but yet you can park your money in a stable coin like UST with Terra Luna in the Anchor protocol and get 19.5%. Yeah, you definitely can't fight inflation. Definitely not having any volatility in the market, right? Because you're in stable coin and you're getting 19.5% APY. I want to see the first bank out there that even produces half of that or a quarter of that APY to any of its customers. I'll wait.
Yeah,
because there isn't, and they never will be, right? This is, like you said, propaganda just out there pushing the narrative that crypto is too risky, it's very bad, but other institutional investors are getting involved all over it. But you, the common person, you don't want to touch this stuff. Leave it to the bankers, leave it to the financial experts to make money. You don't need this. You just need our Canadian dollar that we can just continue printing whenever we see fit and continue to control your financial life every day with it. But don't worry about this other stuff.
Exactly. Let's talk about this. I saw this the other day. I don't remember who the rapper was. I think it was like Flo Rida or something. I don't know who it was, but we have let me back up. In the United States, at least, and I believe that this is in a lot of different places, but I don't know for sure. But in the United States, we have what's called the fractional reserve banking system. Okay. Canada, you will take this inflation and like it. That's funny. That's great. But we have what's called the fractional reserve banking system. And essentially what it states is that the banks are not required to hold essentially what you put in there at a, they don't have to balance or back that with an amount of actual cash in the bank. So what's happening? People think that a lot of times when you put your money into the bank, that the bank is just directly loaning that out. They're actually leveraging your money. Okay. Heck yeah, showing out the merch. I was like, what is he doing? They're actually not just doing that, but they are leveraging your money to be able to pull themselves more to then loan out at these crazy interest rates. So one of the biggest scams on planet Earth is the banking system. They are loaning out money from 4 to 15%, and they offer you 0.01% on the money you put in. Now, here's the catch. The rapper goes into the bank, and he had like 400K, I think, in the bank, like in that bank. He goes in and says, I want to withdraw my money. They can't give it to him. Like, physically could not give it to him at that point. They had to like basically make a request to do so. And he was only able to pull out like 30 grand. I have actually had to call my bank before when I had to do a large cash transaction through my business and tell them in advance. I had to give them a 24-hour heads up. Hey, I'm going to need to do this large of a transaction in cash. Can I please take my own money? What a load of hogwash, dude. I could put as much money in crypto as I want on my MetaMask and move that value from point A to point B. I mean, like that. And so the fact that they can't go in and even pull the money that they're already scamming you out of, you know, what if they loaned it out at 4% and they gave you 2% and they said, hey, we'll hold it, we'll guarantee it. You keep 2, we'll keep 2. They would still be filthy freaking rich, but it's just pure greed.
It's all mine and none for you.
And then after the greed happens, also, we need to remind you via news articles that nothing will go against the dollar. And oh yeah, 6.7%. What a freaking joke. They have printed out of this world. I had a buddy up in Canada while the fog around the world was happening. They were giving out, don't quote me on this number, but I think it was around $1,400 to $2,000 a month for a while to everyone. So, like, tell me that they didn't print themselves into an oblivion as well.
Dude, so if anybody wants to know and get some, like, details on how these banks do all these crazy things, watch The Big Short. That movie will show you behind the scenes what kind of criminal deals these banks do and the kind of stuff they get away with, because the press themselves are terrified to go and write the articles about what is happening. Check out The Big Short. I'm sure there's on some subscription somewhere, whether it's Amazon Prime or Hulu or something. That movie's out there. The movie's pretty old by now, so go check out The Big Short. Man, I honestly do believe that at some point, whether it's 5 years or 10 years from now, or maybe a little bit longer than that, I think the yuan is gonna flip the dollar. I think the yuan's gonna flip the dollar. Did everybody? The dollar is the United States is only number one right now because the dollar is still being held in the reserves. But we are seeing articles are coming out. Israel, or was it Israel, or was it I think Saudi Arabia, maybe instead of Israel. Sure. Yeah, I think it was Saudi Arabia. Basically, was packing up, was getting rid of some of the American US dollar reserves they had to start packing up some other currencies like the yuan, right? Everybody is not, the only reason why the yuan is not number one right now is because people still don't kind of trust China. But China's economy is massive. They produce for everybody around the entire world. They're making money hand over fist. The United States cannot say they have the same problem. They have that same problem, because we saw when the fog around the world started, we couldn't even get masks or anything here because China had stopped production. We were literally just like hands up, like, oh, we don't know what to do right now. So they have probably the strongest economy because the entire world pretty much depends on them for almost practically everything.
You know, not to get off on a different tangent, so I'm not going to go there, but the scary thing is how their economy is run, and what's happening is slowly but surely. Stick around for tomorrow night. Slowly but surely, I think we're headed in that direction. Stick around for tomorrow night. We've got to listen. If you guys don't know, we have What If Wednesday on Wednesdays. Okay, where we dive into, sometimes they're the tinfoil hat ideas, right? But tomorrow night, we've got one that absolutely is going to do this. And it has to do with Elon. That's all I'm going to tell you. It has to do with Elon, but I'm telling you that we have put some thoughts together that will blow your mind tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're there. Let me take a quick pause. Guys, jump into the Discord. Check out Danger Close Alpha. We're bringing the survivalist community together with the crypto community. We're doing big things, real world utility, and we're working on some metaverse type utilities as well. Lots of partnerships, lots of free stuff that we're going to be giving away, tons of utility, and it's actually going to do something positive for you, yourself, and your family, and nothing beats that. So smash the likes. Let's continue. Let's talk about Moonbirds.
Let's get it. Let's get the meat and potatoes out here. Everybody wants to know about the Moonbirds.
And potatoes. All right, so Moonbirds COO leaves project for new fund with $1 million in NFTs in tow. Founder Kevin Rose addressed the controversial exit of Ryan Carson, the project's chief operating officer, in a Twitter Spaces on Monday. Ryan Carson, the chief operating officer of the popular non-fungible token collection Moonbirds, announced on Twitter on Monday that he has left the project to start his own NFT venture fund. The news garnered an immediate and negative reaction from the broader NFT community, with many voicing frustrations that Carson purchased hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Moonbirds before his exit, possibly using insider knowledge to poach undervalued editions. Carson's cache of avian collectibles is currently worth $1.2 million based on floor prices alone, most of which were bought before Moonbird's values ballooned in the days following the initial mint. The project's founder, longtime internet entrepreneur, and Dig co-founder Kevin Rose addressed the Moonbirds community in a Twitter Spaces following the news, saying Carson's actions went against the project internal policy. It says, the former COO of Moonbirds, and let me understand this. The former COO of Moonbirds, and you know what? Let me not read that. He said, I had an internal policy not to purchase any Moonbirds until after rarity counts were out to the public. I can't control someone clicking a button to purchase, but I can put stronger controls in place for all future drops, e.g., no employee purchases for 7 days. All right. So the guy leaves, Miguel, right? He made some purchases prior to with knowledge of what he had in front of him. Okay. Is this anything new at all in the freaking crypto space? Are you kidding me? Like, this has been happening since the start of crypto, and it continues to happen. It happened in OpenSea. It's been happening freaking everywhere.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous that these big projects everybody gets all hyped about, and all these guys on the inside are literally just using you and abusing you, right? They like coming out and saying, hey, I can't control that. You guys are a company. You guys are a business. Of course you can control your employees from buying and not buying. Not your employees, but the founders of the project, right? The creators of the project, not just employees, on with company policies on who can buy, when you can buy, and how it all works. Of course you can. Don't come with that BS. Oh, 7 days after. He just finished saying that he wouldn't buy until the rarities are out. Why is that not a standard for everybody that's a founder of the project?
Yeah, I wonder if, though, in fairness, I wonder if what he's kind of saying is he can put the rules in place, but ultimately he can't. Like, I could make any sort of wallet I want and go with information that I have and just purchase it. So that's what I'm guessing he's saying. He's saying,
Yes.
listen, I put rules in place, but I can't control somebody going out of their way, doing something dishonest, using one of their own private wallets.
But if it's public, but if it becomes public that you did something, there should be some penalty for what you've done. Right, you can't just come in. This project literally came out less than a week ago, and this guy already exited. Literally, just boom, exit.
$280 million in, what was it, 3 days?
Like 3 days. This guy scoops up over $1 million worth of NFTs from the inside, knowing what's rare and what's not, and then says, "Deuces, I'm out."
That's right.
Rug pull, not rug pull. Like,
yeah,
you might want to change the definition of rug pull, or maybe add to the definition. But I'm pretty sure that's pretty close up there.
Yeah,
in rug pull land, right? Like, that's just ridiculous.
I just have I have a big problem with it, just from the standpoint of, like, okay, if you want to be involved in your own project, sure. Like, Miguel, you and I are absolutely going to be involved in our project, but we're not going to be sniping the rarity. We're not going to be like calling the devs and saying, hey, listen, I need a rarity number 1 and 2 for the
4 days after the launch
for the creators, right? I need to make sure that we have those. No, I think that it's okay to support your project. I think that it's great to make money off of your own project. It's different to set yourself up and set yourself apart. But then the better part, Miguel, is you almost wonder if there's some bad blood in there, because the better part of it is he says, wait a minute, I'm going to snipe those. And by the way, I'm going to piece out and start another project with your money. It'd be like me, Miguel, like with like our business funds, right? It'd be like me, like, taking the money out of the account and then like hitting you up and like, yo, bro, just teamed up with so-and-so, and oh yeah, I'm using our money, deuces. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. It's dirty. It's disgusting.
And the crypto space is already got enough of that craziness going on. I wanted to thank Heidi
for the super chat.
Yeah, Caitlin also tossed a $10 super chat in there as well. So
yeah, but hold on. I want to highlight the Danger Close Alpha merch. It's definitely coming, guys.
Oh yeah,
it is coming for sure. So get ready for that. It's gonna be fire.
Actually, let's toss this out there. Everybody that's in the Discord, which should be everybody in here, let's put let's put it into the general chat tonight. Let's talk about what you would like merch to look like. We've got some cool ideas. We've got a couple fun ideas. If you guys want to have a little conversation, let's talk about what the merch could look like. We've got some cool ideas. I think we are definitely going to do on the back of the shirt that Miguel has on right now. We've got a QR code, which is super cool because obviously, you know, pull up, boom, check it out, and then it pulls up our link tree. But I think we're going to do something with the QR code, but we would love any input that you guys have because the merch is going to be there. And actually, let me tell you guys this. One of the things Miguel and I have been talking about is possibly giving all of the holders their IP, their intellectual property rights to their personal NFT, so that when you guys buy it, if you want to make your own merch, maybe you got one that's super dope, which they're all going to be, and you want to be able to sell it and use your own NFT to make money, hey, do it. Do your thing. We don't need to be that centralized point of control, and so we'd love to be able to do that for you. So yeah, I think unless there's anything else, Crypto Fam, we freaking love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You guys are here night after night after night. Just as a reminder, tomorrow night is What If Wednesday, 7:30. We got some big Elon. Don't miss it. I'm telling you. You better be here. And then obviously Thursday, TA Thursday, Friday night, we've got some heat going on. And then Saturday night, working on who's going to be in a possible debate this weekend. We cannot release that information yet. Still trying to figure out a couple little details there, but we appreciate all the support. We love you guys. Just remember to question everything.
Trust nothing.
Until next time, hodl
like it's hot.
We'll see you soon.